Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Tonight on the show, we are going to start the series about the citadels. There's two of them. So we got the Corporation Outpost, which is the Corporation Citadel, and we've got the Personal Outpost, which is just that, an outpost. Now, in this series, it's going to be a split. We'll be covering first the outpost, which is a personal station. It's not something that you can manage by corporation, or you can have corporation hangars, but we'll get to that in a later episode when we talk about permissions and what the purpose is for both of them. We're just going to focus today on how to build the standard outpost. Now, there's a lot of components to build. Maybe you want like a bunch of people helping you, but doing this on your own might take some time. The purpose of the outpost is to deploy in nullsec and have it as like a staging, a base of some sorts. But given the surroundings and all the stuff that's happening in nullsec, I think it's pretty hard for just one guy to manage an outpost, and it's probably going to get targeted and destroyed unless you know how to hide it properly and stuff like that. We're also going to touch on the hiding part when we place the structure. Now, let's get over with the building. Now, the building is pretty simple in terms of building. It's more hard to gather all the materials that are needed. In case you didn't know, a Capsuleer Outpost is selling in Gita at around 5.5 billion. So if you manage to build this on your own, it's going to be an enormous effort, but it'll pay out in the end. We have the Capsuleer Outpost right here, which is the blueprint. Now, in order to build this, you just have to click the use blueprint, and come on, mate. And as soon as you do that, it'll load up into the manufacturing process inside the industry panel. Now, as you can see, we've got one blueprint, and it will need 8 types of components. The 8 types of components are basically all the structure components that you can either find on the market, or you can acquire the blueprints and build them yourselves. But all these components require various stuff. So let's take, for example, the structure construction parts, which you require 2 of them, and we're going to take a look at the structure component blueprint. Now, every one of these components requires 2 sets of materials. We've got planetary materials and we've got minerals. Planetary materials you can gain from mining the planets, but the amounts are pretty high. And not that high, but if you add them up for all the parts that are needed, it's going to take a lot just to gather them by yourself. So you either buy them off from the market, or you're in with a corporation and you basically work together towards the common goal. So we've got just 5 types of planetary materials and 7 types of minerals. Minerals can be gathered by mining stuff in the asteroid belt, and after refining them, or you can also refine like loot, and you will get minerals. So there's a lot of minerals as well, like almost 3 million titanium, pyrite, mexilon, and stuff. With just pile up. As long as you just add all the components. Remember, this is going to be a huge effort if you do it on your own. So it's going to take like 20 million ISK just to build one structure construction part, just one. So for 2 of them, you're going to need 40 million ISK. This is just the tax for setting up the building job. So let's say we've built all the components. What's going to happen next? Well, once you manage to gather all the necessary components, meaning all the components with all the minerals and all the planetary materials, to build all the components that are needed for this big blueprint for the Capsuleer Outpost, you're just going to put this in the oven, and it's going to last 66 hours to build, and it's going to eat up 450 million ISK just to set up the job. So that's a lot. Also, please to take into consideration that numbers here are basically poop. I mean, not these ones, but the ones with the planetary materials and the minerals. Basically because right here I'm on the test server showing you guys how to do stuff, and I've got basically level 10 on every possible skill. Plus, because I'm sitting in a corporation citadel, I have some bonuses for material efficiency, meaning I can build using less material. So probably if you build this in a different station like an Empire Space or Low-Sec or even a Null-Sec in an NPC station, is going to eat up a lot more materials. So once you build all of these, and you manage to build the Capsuleer Outpost, there's two actions that you can do. First of all, you can just take it, haul it, put it in a hauler, because it's going to take up, let's take a look at the Capsuleer Outpost, it's going to take up 8,000 cubic meters, so you need a decent hauler to carry it around. So you're going to be selling, this is the first method of the first action that you can take. Take this, take it to Jita, whatever, ITC, and just put it on the market at a reasonable price. Do consider the price of the materials that you invested in building it, plus all the taxes that you used to set up all the construction jobs. So if you do not get a return in profit, then it's probably a bad idea to set it up on the market if the prices are too low. The second action that you can take is to go ahead and put it in space. Now, before putting it in space and before continuing to the next episode, well, I will show you how exactly to put it in space, how to hide it, and how to make it less visible for every other player. There's one important thing that you might want to learn. If you just put it in space, and after it finishes anchoring, and you get like an online station and you can dock up inside and use it, it's going to be sort of unusable, because you need to fit one module. If you take a look at the Capsuleer Outpost, as you can see, it says it has a fitting panel. It supports 2 high slots, 3 med slots, and 2 low slots, and there's a bunch of modules that you can put inside of it. So we can go on the market just to show you guys which of the modules you can fit on the Capsuleer Outpost. So inside the structure modules, you can see the structure weapons, which are the missile launcher or large turrets or whatever, and we've got the medium modules that are the web, the disruptor, and the neutralizer, and we've got the structure service, which basically fit on the low slots. Now, in order for the station to fully activate, you do need to fit one such component. Either if you don't fit this, then the station will be constantly vulnerable and it can be destroyed pretty easily because it will not hit reinforcement. And we'll basically talk about reinforce and what does it mean and how to protect your station in a later episode. But it's really important, if you decide to use the station and to drop it and anchor it in space and use it as your own station, you need one of these modules to fit it. Basically so the station can activate, otherwise it's going to be displaying low power, which means sort of unusable. You can dock up and use like basic services, but it won't be protected. Also, you do need a hefty amount of fuel to keep it going. So the fuel is also something that you mine from the planets, and there's several types of fuel that you can mine from planets. There's liquid ozone, heavy water, plasmoids. Plasmoids has the biggest conversion into energy. So you need to put the fuel inside the station, have at least one module, and then the station will be fully operational. We'll touch more on these mechanics once we set up the station in space, and I'll show you guys exactly how to fit, how to put, and how to benefit from the Capsuleer Outpost. So again, you are interested in building at least one of these. If you want to benefit from the start from what these two services centers actually provide, one is the Industry Service Center, which allows you to use the production service, reverse engineering, and your reprocessing. Basically, without this, you cannot use these 3 functions. And there's the resource extraction management center. It allows you to collect PI from the systems that you have settled inside the current constellation in which the outpost resides, and it allows you to send the mined materials to the nearest outpost hangar in the current constellation. So you really want to build one of these and basically fit them, and afterwards you can fully use the Capsuleer Outpost. So in our next episode, we'll be touching on how to basically anchor and where to set it up, and how to set up the permissions and all of that stuff. Also, please do remember we have a community question of the week, which is basically a giveaway, and this week's current question is about the balance, and what exactly would you like to see included in the balance? What, in your opinion, is the most unbalanced thing that you would like to see balance given to? Please leave your comments below, and by doing that, you'll participate in the double Omega Combo clone giveaway, which we will announce 2 lucky winners on Wednesday. So thank you guys for watching. A very big shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.